Alrighty. So we are about, well, second week of August. Moving the cattle every day. We just went through a pretty big rainstorm, and then I have a bunch of storms. So right now I'm allowing them to come all the way back up into the shelter and then backtrack for water. So it's more of a strip grazing thing. We've been on this paddock for 6 to 7 days, just around a week. So it's a lot longer than what I would like to do. Usually I would move them every day and then let them backtrack only for 3. But because of all these storms, the flooding and everything, I've just extended it a little bit. So this is obviously the paddock that they're in. It's first year seeding. We have decent grass, but not great. Really aggressive clover, like too much clover, and then a lot of ragweed. But the once they get done with this, I'll mow this, and then the ragweed will be anything I've mowed in the last 2 weeks is gone now with ragweed. If you pan over to that paddock, that was about the exact same, if not taller, with ragweed, and there's not much ragweed in there anymore. That's grass and clover. That's a good looking pasture. So yeah, we'll go through a little bit of moving them, and then let's walk down here quick. You'll see where they were about going on a month ago now. Probably between 3 and 4 weeks ago, they were on this paddock behind me down there. So you can see the ragweed that got mowed after they went through, and the ragweed's pretty much taken care of. The ragweed, I joke about it, but it's I've essentially treated it like a nurse crop, and when we were going through a drought earlier in the year, that was the only thing that was up, and it kept moisture on the ground and collected sunlight. So it just, if we would have tilled and sprayed and then just planted a pasture, yeah, you wouldn't have to mow as much. But I mean, all this stuff is over here is them grazing once and then mowed once. So the management isn't anything crazy. They're doing most of the work for us still. And they strip these ragweed. Once they get older, they don't eat the ragweed as much. Like you'll see the ones that have little, like starting to form seed heads, they barely even touch. But if it's younger stuff like this is the exact same thing deer do too. So you'll see like browse pressure on ragweed all through the summer until like right now. And if it's young, you're talking about a crude protein level that's competitive with soybeans. And it's true. Like I let the cattle out into a ragweed. Well, it wasn't a ragweed field. It was a warm season annual field that had a bunch of ragweed. Let them out into it like a week or 2 after I planted, where the ragweed was still like ankle high. They smoked it, hammered it all in one day. And then the field, like when that ragweed's new and young, deer absolutely love it too. So, and then it makes sense. The crude protein level's there, and it's just like anything else. Like cattle don't like when grass gets out the seed heads either, or mature clover that much. So you'll see the more mature ragweed throughout here. They don't touch as much. They barely even strip off. But a lot of the stuff they strip down, and then the mower I just take the mower at like I don't know, shin high, knee high, and I'll just come up through and cut the tops off this ragweed. The ragweed's getting down to the end of its life this year anyway, so it's not very difficult to combat, and we didn't use chemicals or tillage, so it's possible. It's just, if you're not going to till or spray, you're going to mow more. That's one of the biggest things I've learned this year.